The Secret Misses. Chapter 901. This scene would open the movie, so it was the most important part as it would have to give a strong impact on the spectators. It had to be the most charming and captivating scene, basically just cool and extravagant. After a long talk, Jasper's core idea was to make the first scene absolutely stunning. The male lead and the cross-dressed female lead had to be evenly matched, with no one being better than the other. Diego just replied half-heartedly after being nagged by Jasper. Instead of him, he should talk to Luna about this. After all, shouldn't he be more worried about Luna in this scene? Jasper noticed his arrogance and he just hoped that Diego could still be this confident and relaxed later on. Arg! The assistant beside the director suddenly screamed and the props in her hand fell onto the ground. Everyone looked at the direction of what had surprised her, then they saw Luna, who had changed into her new outfit. Some people's eyes widened as it was the first time they saw Luna. There are so many hot guys in this crew. Who's that? I thought there's only the male and female lead in this scene. Could it be the female lead? Congratulations, you're right. She's our female lead, Luna. Wow. Senior Luna looks so cool in this outfit. What a perfect match. Arya was staring at Luna and started calling her Senior, totally forgetting about her rant to her manager before. Jasper looked at Luna's outfit and nodded with satisfaction. It seemed that it was worth it to invest a large amount of money into the movie's outfit and props. Caleb took a glance and mumbled quietly, "She's alright, I still think Diego is way cooler." Diego tensed up when he saw Luna, but he was not too nervous as he was already prepared for the sight. Luna looked absolutely gorgeous in a formal man's outfit, but she was not stealing the limelight away from him. After all, he was taller than Luna. Jasper shook his head as he saw Diego's confident look. "Everyone's here, let's start." Everyone stopped talking and went to their positions. Action. In the ballroom, the lights were turned on. A small band was playing some relaxing music on the stage in the middle of the room. Diego had a full black formal suit on. His firm silhouette appeared at the end of the staircase and right behind him was Luna in a white suit, standing quietly there. Under everyone's attention, they both walked down the stairs. Diego's black suit looked much simpler than Luna's. His hair was combed back and he was adjusting his sleeves with a prideful aura, looking fearless and nonchalant about the guests' impressed gazes. He was exactly as the character portrayed in the script, the noble and prideful Adrian. Following the script, Diego turned back and quietly said something to Luna. As he thought he had gathered all the focus around him, Luna smiled and glanced at him. Her smile bloomed and she exuded an implicit charm that was woven with a confident ease and unruliness. Suddenly, all the actors felt themselves gasp as they stared at her in surprise. Even Diego was stunned himself. Chapter 902. Suddenly, everyone lost control. It was an expected mistake. Until Jasper yelled a redo, some of them were still unsure of what happened. Especially Diego, the impact on him was the strongest as he was the closest person to Luna just now. Truthfully speaking, he admitted that Luna acted as a man really well, but he did not expect her to steal the limelight away because when they had appeared together, everyone still looked at him. Yet, at the moment when Luna smiled and looked at him, the aura around her changed and suddenly everyone just could not take their eyes off her. How could this be? "Help, help me, my legs are giving way." Arya extended her hands to the nearby Caleb. She breathlessly exclaimed, "Oh, did you see that? Senior was so charming." Looks-wise Diego was more outstanding, but Senior's smile just now was just so gorgeous. Caleb's expression darkened. He would never admit it, but in that instance earlier, even his heart raced. He then observed the other staff and actors. A lot of males were stunned as well. It was not just her gender that affected everyone. Jasper was calm as he had already expected this to happen. He went up to Diego and half-jokingly told him, "Diego, keep it up, don't let a girl snatch away the limelight." Diego nodded. He would not be careless again. Now, he understood why Director Jasper had spoken to him earlier. "Everyone get into your zone." Again. Jasper then told the other actors, you guys performed well just now. That impressed expressions of yours were great. Keep up the pace, but don't just stare at only one of them. It's the both of them that impresses you guys. One prideful and one wild, they are evenly matched. Jasper actually knew that the key to this scene would be Diego. He had to be on par with Luna to elicit the best response from the other actors. One should never really have high expectations from crowd actors. Sometimes, it was best to have the natural reaction from them. It would be best for this scene to pass the first time, since the crowd actors would have known what was coming for the second time and the impact would be lesser. After a short break, the second take started. Okay, get ready everyone, we're starting. Jasper informed all the teams. Luna bro, the director is calling, go quickly. All the best, Luna bro. Suddenly, the staff started calling Luna bro, as well. Luna gave everyone a smile. She passed her mug to Bonnie and the hand warmer to Arya, then she walked towards the shooting scene. Diego took a deep breath and calmed himself down. He had been caught off guard earlier as he was surprised, but he was ready this time. It would not happen again. He looked calmly at Luna and closed his eyes. When he opened them again, the aura around him became even more like a young man's from a noble family. Chapter 903. Melodious music played as the guests started to talk and laugh cheerfully. Diego took steady footsteps as he made his way downstairs. The posture he took as he walked was a result of professional training, and now, he was even more careful, clearly performing better than the previous take. His entire manner was arrogant, imposing, and impressive. The crowd actors also cooperated and they revealed a stunned expression. After he walked down, Diego took a wine glass in the waiter's hand, then naturally turned over to speak to Luna beside him. There was no dialogue. They only needed to act as if the male lead was speaking to the female lead. As for what they actually said, it was up to the audience members to guess for themselves. The performance of the actors themselves would determine what the audience would come up with. This time, Luna raised her brows and her eyes wandered as she looked at Diego teasingly. The slight smirk on her lips was interwoven with splendor, instantly overshadowing everyone beside her. On its own, Diego's performance earlier was not bad. However, with Luna in comparison, the male lead that they had found strong and dashing suddenly seemed a little weak. They even felt like he was too pretentious, like a peacock that had spread its feathers. On the other hand, Luna did not even think of attracting anyone's attention, yet this was exactly what caused everyone's gaze to be fixated on her. Not only that, everyone noticed that underneath the female lead's unbridled and dissolute eyes was a hidden spark which represented her unspeakable and buried feelings towards Adrian. This time, Luna's performance had not only been stunning. It was layered with emotions, instantly leading the audience into the movie itself. The two were practically as different as heaven and earth. Without a doubt, this was still a bad take. Even Jasper was astonished. One could see in his eyes that he had picked up a gem. He had thought that Luna's performance earlier was the peak of splendor, but he did not expect that that was not even her best. Diego felt strong palpitations as he felt the pressure of being unable to conquer a high mountain. When he had decided to enter this industry, everyone had told him that based on his qualities, he was made for it, that he would definitely make it big. However, at this moment, he finally knew what it truly meant to be made for the entertainment industry. As he watched the way Diego looked, Jasper was afraid he would lose his psyche balance. He held the script and walked over, talking him through again. Diego, your performance earlier has improved a lot. Put in a little more effort and maintain this pace. In the script, Adrian is an especially privileged person, so not only should he bedazzle, the more important thing is to portray that arrogance he has from being at the summit of power and influence. If it was just about being handsome, then he would merely be a celebrity. Class and gaze is very important, do you understand? Pay attention to Luna's performance because the female lead has gone through life and death, so her every move and every look carries a sense of detachment. The pain and grief of her kin's death, and the loving admiration that she has which can't be announced to anyone, her carelessness and this game of life, all of this has been performed through her eyes. I know, thank you, director. Diego looked at the replay of the camera and looked at how he had been overshadowed like a lousy clown. Instinctively, he wanted to erase the entire recording. Jasper patted his shoulder. "I'll give you 10 minutes to calibrate yourself." After Jasper finished, he walked towards Luna, who was being surrounded by a group of girls. Chapter 904. Luna immediately got up. "Director Jasper, did you want to talk me through the script?" "Talk, my ass." Jasper answered her in an annoyed tone. "You little punk, how dare you hide your potential from me the last time?" After the words spilled out of his mouth, he realized that he had unknowingly scolded her as little punk. Luna looked innocently at him. "No, the last time, I was my usual self. You didn't let me try any scenes." She had only brought her regular acting skills with her the last time. Jasper was speechless. 10 minutes later, the shoot began again. They continued to have bad takes quite a few times, all because Diego could not keep up with Luna's pace. The two of them were on entirely different levels of talents. Nevertheless, Jasper had high demands for this scene, so he would not accept any flaws at all. However, if they continued to shoot at this momentum, this shoot would probably continue until the end of time. In fact, Diego was about to have a mental breakdown. They could not go on like this. In frustration, Jasper just decisively called out, "Cut," midway. The moment he yelled that out, Diego could not hold it in any longer and he unhappily wrenched off his suit, throwing it onto the ground. He took huge steps towards him, his handsome face clouded with gray clouds and looking very sinister. The entire atmosphere was tense, almost to its breaking point. All the cast and the other crew members dared not say a word. When the little assistant saw Diego lose control, she quickly ran up to console him. Diego, where are you going? Today's only the first day, don't cause any trouble. Be a little patient, the director has already said that you're performing better and better each time." In contrast to Diego's outburst, Luna, who donned a white vintage English-styled tuxedo, loosened her collar and put one hand into her pocket and nonchalantly walked over. Jasper felt a headache threatening to come as he massaged his temples. He then walked over and pulled Luna to a corner, lowering his voice to advise her, "You saw that Diego's performance is actually not bad, but he is a newbie after all, so can you rein yourself in a little?" The only solution now was to have Luna restrain herself. When Luna heard this, she looked hastily at Diego, and then said, "So what if he's new? As a man, he doesn't even know the basics of looking handsome, so it's best if he leaves the industry soon." Jasper was speechless and so were all the men present. Her words were too harsh. Everyone subconsciously turned to look at Diego and indeed, he was boiling with anger. After all, he was still young and hot-blooded. Diego, who had been ready to leave on impulse, skidded in his tracks upon hearing this sentence and his hands were balled into fists. He snarled, "Director Jasper, let's go again." Jasper had looked hesitant for the first time. With Diego's current attitude, if Luna did not restrain some of her charisma, it would be extremely dangerous. If they continued to do a bad take this time, it would cast a shadow over Diego's psychological well-being, one that might not be able to be salvaged. Such a shadow was fatal for an actor. Jasper did care for his talents, so he dared not take this risk. "Come on." Unfortunately, the two of them were very determined and they had already walked to their respective positions, ready to begin. Jasper and Luna shared a look and when they sensed each other's calm and composed manner, they felt assured. Based on Luna's acting skills, she should be able to express and restrain her emotions as she wished. She should have bit her tongue when she noticed that something was not right. After all, they bore no grudges against each other and she had no need to destroy a newbie. In fact, based on his observation earlier, Diego's performance had actually improved every time, so maybe. Chapter 905. When he thought of this, Jasper gritted his teeth and finally shouted, "Action!" Everyone held their breath and watched. The quartet in the middle started to play as the dreamy crystal chandelier hung above them while skirts flew and twirled on the dance floor. At the end of the swirling staircase, two men, one dressed in white and the other in black, one in front and one behind, one noble and one leisurely, both slowly made their way down. This time, Diego's entire demeanor from his footsteps to his aura and to his gaze, including the moment he returned Luna's teasing smile, was all perfectly flawless. The couple were akin to two equally bright stars, shining and enhancing each other. Cut. Not bad. Very good. Almost everyone breathed a heavy sigh of relief following Jasper's emotional call to cut. The worry in Jasper's heart could finally be dissolved. Thank goodness, Diego had managed to make it. If he had not, it would have casted a huge shadow over him. However, once he got over it, his acting skills definitely achieved huge realization and improvement. Whoa, amazing. Aria's heart was racing. The moment the two of them shared a look, my Fujoshi soul was about to come out. Way too handsome. Adrian did not know about Sherry's feelings at all, and he had only treated him as his capable subordinate and good friend, but the intimacy and great chemistry between the two was enough to touch everyone, making the audience's hearts cry out for the female lead's feelings. Caleb also looked jealous, as if he felt heavily damaged by the couple. Okay, they are quite handsome. While everyone were clapping and praising them, Diego did not relax at all. He staggered down the steps and took the bottled water from his assistant's hand and downed half the bottle, his chest heaving vigorously. It was just a scene of acting cool, yet it was as if they had watched a battle. The witnesses felt like they were still in shock. Caleb stole a panicked look at Luna, who looked unaffected, then he walked close to Arya and said, "Arya, are you sure that the person you were referring to earlier is the same person as the one we're seeing now? Isn't this scary? Where has the gentleness, the considerate soul gone to? She said that she would be very good at helping newbies to get into the zone and that she would teach them patiently. She had also claimed that with her, acting would be very easy. Was she lying? It was only the first scene and Diego was about to keel over as a result of her. He was feeling thankful that he did not have that many scenes with Luna. Arya bit her lip and replied, "But when she was acting with me, she was really super considerate and super relaxed. I think you can't blame our senior for this. Is it wrong for her to have such amazing acting skills? Because of the storyline, the two of them need to be extra dramatic for this scene, it's inevitable." Caleb was speechless. Why did he feel like this difference in opinion was biased with gender? To girls, she was warm and tender like the spring wind, whereas to men, she was as cold as the autumn wind. Something was not right. Jasper looked at the time. "It's too late today, we won't have time, let's push the remaining scenes to be continued tomorrow. Everyone's worked hard, let's wrap up for today." Even though he had not finished the scenes for that day, it was worth the perfect performance in this important scene. When Jasper finally got Luna alone, he could not help but ask, "If Diego still could not keep up with your pace this time, would you have held back?" Chapter 906. Luna smiled, her eyes curving like crab apples in its first bloom. "Of course not, I trust your evaluation, Director Jasper. If he can't even handle this, that won't really hold up well for your name." She was acting normally this time, not even putting in any extra effort and being lenient. That year when she had overshadowed Adam, she was cruel. Jasper was almost bedazzled by that smile and he helplessly said, "That's enough, won't you have mercy on me? I'm sorry, I haven't managed to adjust myself in time." Jasper was speechless. As the two were speaking, Jasper caught Arthur from the corner of his eye. He seemed to be waiting for them to finish. "Arthur, do you need anything? I'm here to talk to Senior Luna." Arthur's usual poker face was unusually tense. Luna looked over curiously, unsure what she was needed for. Among all of the newbies, she found Arthur the hardest to read. However, she felt an odd sense of familiarity with him. Sadly, she did not get the chance to shoot with him today. They would only meet the next day. "Could I have your signature?" "I'm your fan," Arthur said without any expression. "My fan?" Luna raised her brows in surprise. "Of course." Then, Luna picked up the notebook and pen in his hand to give him her autograph, and she added on some words of encouragement too. "Thank you, Senior." Arthur pursed his lips, bowed, then walked off without making any small talk. Jasper looked at Luna, then suddenly asked profoundly, "Do you know how I discovered him?" "How?" Luna asked. He is not from the academy, he came up to me by himself. At that time, I had searched for a long time to no avail to find a suitable secondary male lead, so I let him try out. However, he rejected my offer. Huh? Didn't he come up to you himself? Why did he reject you? Luna could not understand. He wanted to be the male lead. To be frank, his image was definitely not suitable for the male lead in this movie. Did you manage to persuade him after? Jasper nodded. I let him try a part of the male lead scenes first, but his image just couldn't fit, so I advised him to try for the secondary lead. He didn't agree, so later I had to invite him personally. Luna was a little surprised. To let director Jasper personally invite him, it must not be as simple as getting through with just acting skills. Jasper smiled mysteriously. You'll find out later on. Since Jasper had put it that way, Luna did not ask further, but she suddenly thought of something. Oh, Director Jasper, are visits allowed? I have a friend who wants to come over and watch me work. I'll make sure the shoot definitely won't be affected. Sure, if it's your friend, then there definitely won't be a problem. Jasper agreed rather easily. As the two spoke, Jasper saw another silhouette peeking from not too far away. It turned out that there were more who had stayed back. Jasper looked helplessly at Arya's direction and asked, Here for Luna too? Arya nodded. Sigh, go on. I won't disturb you lot. Usually, actors would look for the director to chat after work, but this time, they were all here for the female lead. Arya, work's over, aren't you leaving yet? Luna's tone obviously softened significantly when she spoke to Arya. That lowered tone. Arya subconsciously pinched her softened ears. Senior, may I have your phone number? Chapter 907. Sure. Luna hurled out her hand. Arya quickly passed her phone over. Luna keyed in her number, then made a missed call to her own number before returning the phone. Seeing that Luna was so friendly, Arya mustered the courage to ask again, May I add you on WeChat? My WeChat ID is my phone number, you can just add me. Oh, okay, thank you, Senior. Senior, don't you need to remove your makeup? Arya swallowed her saliva as she looked at Luna in the male outfit. Luna was wearing her own clothes, but it was still men's clothes. It was a casual outfit, a pair of jeans with a hooded jacket. It looked dynamic and comfortable. It was only a very casual look, yet when it was worn on her, it was immediately attractive. At such an hour, it would be too congested for me to get home. I'm planning to take the subway, that's more convenient, answered Luna. Oh, well, Arya wanted to say that she was taking the subway as well when her phone rang. It was her manager calling to say that he was there to pick her up. Thus, she could only bid Luna farewell. Arya, over here. Bro Mark, why are you here? When Arya saw her middle-aged manager parked by the roadside, she was unhappy. Mark did not know how he had made the young miss angry. Of course I'm here to pick you up. How did today go? You didn't cause any trouble, did you? I've told you not to think about being the female lead anymore. Even if you're unhappy about Luna, you must be patient. But if you really don't want to act anymore, I can help you. He would much rather spend more effort helping her get out of acting in this movie than let her wreck it. When Arya heard this, she immediately jumped in horror instead. Who's unhappy about Luna? Don't spew nonsense. This morning This morning is the past. Whatever it is, I'm not unhappy about Luna. I want to act as the third female lead. I will fight anyone for it. Mark was confused. Women were truly unfathomable. Luna had told Theo beforehand that she would go to his place for dinner, so after work was done, she made her way there. In front of Platinum Palace. Jake, who had been shooed out by Theo, looked resentfully at him. Hey, it's close to dinner time, won't you make me stay for dinner? Luna's coming over tonight, Theo immediately said, indicating that he did not want to be disturbed. Jake scoffed, I've seen you through right from the start, indeed it's hoes before bros to you. Fancy that he had even made a trip here to talk so much to him. Speaking of which, why won't you try to ask Cameron? He's been with those people for so long, can't he know about his background at all? He's not my person. This implied that even if Cameron said anything, he would not believe him. Besides, with that person's sophistication, even if it was Cameron, he would probably not reveal his background. He's already working in your office as a security guard. How could he not be your person? Jake mumbled. As the two spoke, a shadow approached from afar. The approaching man was not very old and he wore a trendy casual outfit. His face was extremely handsome and he seemed to be androgynous, while exuding an aura of recklessness and brashness. One look and you would know that he was one that attracted many. Feeling egotistically challenged, Jake subconsciously looked longer and then asked Theo, "Who's that?" "Your brother's friend?" In that direction lay only Cleo's and Theo's bungalows, so if he was not looking for Theo, then he must have been here for Cleo. Before Jake could hear Theo's answer, he saw that the young man had walked right up to them, more specifically, right before Theo. The young man did not drive, so he had probably jogged over and was panting slightly. His fair and beautiful neck was sweaty. Upon walking over, he did not hesitate before pulling on Theo's neck to kiss him. Then, he fluttered his eyes and in a low voice, asked, "Did you miss me?" Jake stood as still as a statue like he had been struck by lightning. He was speechless. Chapter 908. Did you miss me? What did he just witness? Heaven fell and the earth shattered, the seas ran dry and the rocks went soft as the sound of thunder rocked the sky. This scene was even more shocking than when he had first seen Theo with the little bunny. Jake was left stunned. The night sky dimmed as the horizon was lit with the tangerine sunset glow. When the young man stared at Theo, the brash and unruly aura from him turned into threads of love and inseparability. His pair of charming eyes instantly became so beautiful that it rattled one's heart and soul. As Theo lowered his gaze to look at the man, the ice that covered his eyes slowly melted into spring water. His eyes were tender and precious as if he was looking at his entire world. Jake suddenly found this scene unbelievably moving. Whoa! He must be crazy. He actually thought that the interaction between Theo and this man was moving. When she received the devil's assurance, Luna was instantly satisfied. Indeed, the power of healing was undeniable, even making fatigue from an entire day of shooting vanish. She felt like the devil's random jealousy spites were groundless. With such a charming man before her, it was a wonder that she had not yet been charmed to death. Why would she look twice at anyone else? As he watched the two of them completely forget his existence, Jake could finally hold it in no more as he weakly raised his hands. Cough, guys, there's still someone else here. He felt like he had suddenly disrupted something precious. Would he be killed for that? That could not be right. He had not disrupted anything. He had only stood there quietly and he was a victim too. Master Imo, you're here too. When Luna heard someone else's voice, she turned over and looked at Jake. Jake was about to cry. Bro, I've always been here. What's with that look? Luna put her arm on Theo's shoulders as she said in an apologetic tone, I'm really sorry. Usually, when I'm with my darling, it's hard for me to notice anyone else. Jake was utterly speechless. Theo was actually being called darling by a man and he actually looked quite happy about it. Jake was about to have a mental breakdown. Theo, what's up with you? When I asked you in the first place, didn't you say that you don't swing this way? So what's up with the situation now? Don't tell me that the bunny from before was just a distraction, and that you actually like men, pfft. Then, aren't I in danger? Also, what do we do with that willow? Anne. This is Luna, Theo cut him off. With these words from Theo, Jake was utterly dumbfounded in the midst of the chaos. What did you say? At that moment, a soft and cute little bun ran over like the wind, not to Theo, but to the youth's legs, his eyes full of pleasant surprise and dependence. This gaze of the little bun's reverence did make him feel oddly familiar. After all, this little guy was like Theo. They had never been this passionate or intimate with anyone except with the bunny. The last time at Matthew's birthday banquet, he had seen for himself how obedient and cute the little bun was before the bunny. When Luna saw the little bun, she forget about Jake and even the devil's charm. She immediately picked the little guy up. Chapter 909. When she saw little Treasure wearing the furry woolen cartoon pajamas with little bear ears on his hat and a round tail on his butt, Luna was practically drowning in his cuteness. "Oh, my baby is so cute today. Your father finally understands the need for aesthetics." At that moment, the youth's disguise and external shell were removed as she carried the little bun. All that was left was her true self, and Jake finally believed Theo. It really seems like the bunny. After Luna carried the little bun into the house, Jake remained in shock outside. "Geez, this is amazing, Theo. Can this punk change into 72 variations or something?" From a sly fox to a little bunny, to a shooting master, to a little maid, and even a male disguise, it all came so naturally to her. A woman that could tie Theo down should not be treated commonly. Now, he finally knew where the previous rumors about Theo liking men and his open kiss with a man at a certain party had come from. He really knew how to play the rumor mill. In the living room. "Miss Luna, dinner will be ready in a while, have some juice." "Miss Luna, have some fruits." "Miss Luna, do you want dessert?" The maids at home had come over many times with refreshments before Theo massaged his forehead and then said to Luna, "Go upstairs and change." "What for?" "It's so inconvenient to keep changing," Luna mumbled. Theo did not answer, gazing only towards a certain direction. In the kitchen and in the garden outside the window, many of the maids, including Wan, had already peeked in many times and come over to offer things frequently. Before this, when Luna was in a female outfit, she had already coaxed all these maids from being against her to liking her. Now, what more in her male disguise? "Is that handsome guy inside really Miss Luna?" "No way. They're probably joking." Wan said so, she shouldn't be wrong, or else, apart from Miss Luna, have you seen anyone this close to our master? "I've bought you and little Treasure pajamas from the same series," Theo answered finally. "Ah. Really? You should have said earlier. I'll go change immediately." When Luna heard this, she flew up the stairs. Moments later, Luna walked down in fresh clothes. Little Treasure's pajama set was like a little bear's while Luna's was a little bunny's. The long ears on her head were extremely adorable. Luna hopped down the stairs and twirled before Theo. "Do I look cute or not?" "Pfft, Theo, I can't believe you would buy such clothes." Theo replied, "I thought you'd like it." Luna raised her brows. "Well, do you like it?" "I like anything you wear." Luna had no words to say. Compared to her pickup skills, she felt like the devil's skills of picking up girls while looking serious was truly mind-blowing. Returning to her apartment after dinner, Luna called Tiffany. "Hello, Tiffany." "Luna. It's you. What's up?" Tiffany's surprised voice was heard from the other end of the phone. "It's about that thing we discussed, about you wanting to come visit the set. I've asked the director and he said that there's no problem, so you can come over anytime." Luna never forgot what she promised girls. When Tiffany heard this, she was instantly overjoyed. "Really? That's great." Luna was about to say something when she realized that it was quite noisy on Tiffany's end of the line. "Tiffany, are you not home?" Chapter 910. Tiffany sighed and hesitated. "I'm in one of the internet cafes in the city center." "Internet cafe?" Luna was a little shocked. Why would Tiffany go to such a place? "I'm here to look for my brother." Tiffany paused, then explained, "After the last incident, my father gave him a curfew, telling him that he's not allowed to go out after 9 at night, but he ran out when I wasn't noticing. If I don't quickly bring him back and my father notices when he returns, he'll definitely fly into a rage." "Sis, you're so noisy, can you take your call somewhere further away?" Margot was heard groaning on the other end. "Margot, our father will highly likely come home tonight." Father. Can you not keep using our father to threaten me? I'm just playing games and not killing people." Can't I have some freedom? The problem is that you're having your final exam soon, yet you keep playing games. Also, count for yourself how much money you've spent on these games. You've even had online relationships with people on them. Go away. You're so annoying. Are you done? Margot's tone was very nasty, as if he had forgotten how he had almost been shot to death by his father once, and who had always been there to protect him. When she heard Margot's vile tone, Luna frowned. However, when she spoke to Tiffany, her tone remained gentle. Tiffany, can you help me check what game your brother is playing and what his ID is? Then, secretly tell me, okay? Tiffany followed Luna's instructions and looked at the computer screen, then she walked away to tell Luna, the game is called Sanctuary and his ID is Glory of Light. He seems to be marrying someone in the game tonight. He won't go home no matter how much I ask him to. Okay, got it. Tiffany, find a place to sit for a while, I'll think of a way to make him go home obediently. Tiffany did not ask what Luna was about to do. She just trusted her. After hanging up, Luna opened her laptop and then clicked on the Sanctuary icon on her desktop. This game was the one that she was an ambassador for together with Adam, and it was considered the game that Luna had played the longest. This punk really wanted to take the road to hell when there was one on heaven. He was already an adult, yet he let a girl run out late at night to look for him and even spoke so disrespectfully to her. If she did not kill him so mercilessly tonight that he deleted his game, she would not be called Piercing Wind. Luna looked as if her own woman was being bullied as she logged in with her game ID and was prepared to attack Margot. Just as Luna logged in, immediately the system popped up with a notification. Number 1 on the PK leaderboard, Piercing Wind, has arrived. When she and Adam promoted the game through livestream, they had used other usernames, but this was Luna's real ID. The moment the bright red system notification popped up, the world immediately exploded. The world explained, "Whoa, it's super happening tonight. All the leaderboard masters have arrived, even Piercing Wind, who hasn't been online in a long time." The world continued, "After all, it is the wedding of the first faction leader, Glory of Light, and the second faction leader, In Water's Direction. But it's not like Piercing Wind received an invitation." But that's weird if Piercing Wind received an invitation. Piercing Wind always runs solo and does not join any factions. Piercing Wind wouldn't befriend any factions. Oh. I see Piercing Wind walking towards the matchmaker's shrine. It seems like this unwelcomed guest is really going to attend the wedding. Chapter 9:11. In the game, Piercing Wind, requesting for Glory of Light's coordinates. Luna clicked on the keyboard and released this message to the world. The world, oh. The Master has actually appeared. It's a group photo of the forces. Master, I want to give birth to monkeys for you. Hey, do you want to die? Piercing Wind has a wife. So what? Can't I be the Master's concubine? You should see who Piercing Wind's wife is. How dare you touch Fallen Bloom's husband? What wife? The Master didn't marry her. That was right. Luna's game account username was a man's profile. Because her attack score was top of the game and she led the leaderboard all year round, she was publicly known as all the female players' number 1 marriage choice. The wife they were talking about was Adam. Adam had been tricked by Luna back then and had played using a female profile with the ID Fallen Bloom. Because the two always appeared together and because Adam was Luna's only good friend in the game, the outside world had always thought of them as a pair. When someone sent Luna Margot's coordinates, Luna immediately rushed to her destination. At that moment, some good friends in the game had offered a voice note invitation. Luna looked at the pop-up box and clicked to listen. Then, Adam's voice could be heard. Yo! You punk, you're finally online. What are you going to the matchmaker's shrine for? Quick, let's battle. Don't disturb me, I have serious matters to settle. What serious matters would you have at the matchmaker's shrine? On the other end of the phone, Luna laughed sinisterly, then replied, I'm going to steal a wife. What? Adam almost choked on his saliva. What did you just say? She had not been online in forever, and the first thing she wanted to do was snatch a woman. Pfft, was this not cheating on him? After all, everyone in the game thought that he was a pair with Luna. When she thought about how Tiffany was still waiting at the internet cafe late at night, Luna did not spend any more time talking to Adam. She immediately summoned her flying horse and rode to the matchmaker's shrine, making it in time with Margot's group. This game had been made quite realistically. The wedding set was red all around with streaks of blooms, and it looked aesthetically pleasing to the eye. A male player riding on a high horse with the ID, Glory of Light, above his head led the bride escort troop. Behind him was a sedan with the Pride, and the people on the side were high-profile players. They were all famous people on the leaderboard, if not faction leaders themselves. The troop was walking when sudden, the reverberating sound of a dragon's groan was heard from the sky. That was the cry of hatred from the only dragon-style flying mount in the game. When they heard the dragon's cry, all the players knew that the number one master of the game, Piercing Wind, had arrived. At that moment, Margot, who was sitting before the computer in the internet cafe, immediately stared at the man who had arrived from the sky with his shining eyes, looking very delighted. Pfft, I'm so cool. I'm just getting married, and even Piercing Wind is here to attend the wedding. Beside him, Margot's scoundrel friends exclaimed in admiration too, "Whoa. This is the dragon. I'm seeing it for the first time. Way cool. I heard that you have to win 100 battles in a row before you can redeem it. Only Piercing Wind has achieved this in the entire country. But why did he suddenly come? What's so weird about that? I am, after all, the leader of the number one faction." The moment Margot said this, his friends suddenly stared at the screen and then turned pale before crying out in alarm, "Jesus! Margot! Quickly run! What is it? What's the big fuss about?" Margot looked over at the screen, then found himself dumbfounded. The entire screen was blood red. Piercing Wind had unexpectedly turned his massacre mode on him. Chapter 9:12. The massacre mode was different from seeking a battle because the latter would require the opponent's acceptance and agreement before proceeding. Starting the massacre mode meant that even if the opponent did not want to fight you, you could still immediately go for the kill. Of course, there were punishments for forcefully killing someone. After the players started the massacre mode, they would become red-listed themselves and become a monster, then anyone could kill them from then on. The players were initially all flooding the forums, shocked that Piercing Wind would join Glory of Light's wedding. Someone had even speculated that Piercing Wind was prepared to join the faction, but in the next second, everyone witnessed him get off his saddle and catch everyone off guard by going into massacre mode. The man in the battle god armor was bloodied red as the huge scythe in his hand cut through the sky. The red crescent-shaped light fell on Glory of Light's body, and instantly, he lost half his blood. Before everyone could react, Piercing Wind had made a few more moves and slashed mercilessly, causing Glory of Light to fall on the floor, thoroughly dead. The entire world's channels had been flooded with comments and speculations earlier, but at that moment, it fell silent. In the internet cafe, Margot slammed his fist onto the table in fury. "Hey! That bastard actually dared to kill me." His friends around him were dumbstruck. "What just happened? Why are you stunned? Quickly revive me," Margot demanded unhappily. Oh. In the game, a medical player had injected him with life, and Margot was immediately resurrected. However, in the next second, another red glow flashed across the screen and Margot's character fell to the ground again. Because he was not yet restored to full blood condition when he was revived, this time only a single move was needed to strike him down. Margot, his friends, everyone in the gaming world, and the guests attending the wedding were stupefied once again. If the first time was a misunderstanding, the second time was definitely intentional. Piercing Wind was clearly here to kill Glory of Light. On another computer, Adam sent a voice note as he was getting a headache. "Damn it, what the heck are you trying to do? How did this guy offend you?" Luna replied, "He bullied my person." Adam had nothing to say. Logically, Luna did not have any other good friends in the game, so who had Glory of Light bullied? Just as she said that, Luna had already killed the resurrected Glory of Light for the third time. At that moment, someone finally spoke in the forum. Glory of light, piercing wind. What is the meaning of this? Luna's reply was a stab to him before immediately sitting down cross-legged, blocking the path of the bridal troop. Nothing was said, but the intention was already quite obvious. He was here to cause trouble. The world, Jesus. Can someone tell me what the situation is? The world, it's already so obvious, do you still need to ask? Piercing wind is obviously here to steal his wife. The world, hey, hey, hey. I've really lived long enough. Who knew that watching a wedding would lead to such a huge scandal? Glory of light, piercing wind, I don't have any grudges with you. You've come here yourself to cause trouble, don't blame me for being merciless. Now that piercing wind had started massacre mode, everyone could go up to kill him. Even if he was great at battling, it could not compare to the force of Glory of Light's entire number one faction. At that moment, everyone's screens suddenly turned into a sea of gold and the sound of birds crying was heard from their speakers. A huge shadow covered the sky, then a golden phoenix landed, and from the phoenix, a magical fluttery woman floated down. To everyone's shock, the ID above the woman's head was Fallen Bloom. Chapter 9:13. The world, Fallen Bloom. My goddess Fallen Bloom is here. Goddess, please, a selfie. The world, ha 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 ha, Piercing Wind's wife is here. This is going to be good. The world, now, Glory of Light won't even need to do anything. Fallen Bloom would probably kill the wretched man herself. Fallen Bloom was second on the game leaderboard and was the only female player among the top 10, having won 88 battles in a row. She rode a golden phoenix and carried the nickname of the Battle Devil. Even though her battle score was not on par with Piercing Wind's, she still held the highest number of battles in the game. At the same time, Fallen Bloom was also the game's first RMB player. Even though her faction ranking was not that high up, the entire faction was filled with Rick Mafias, and even the number one faction would dare not offend her. Otherwise, as unruly as they were, when they started hating you, they could easily use their money to snatch everyone in your faction. Margot had limited allowance, and recently, even that had been limited, so he naturally could not compare to these merciless rich mafia RMB players. Glory of Light, leader Fallen Bloom, your man is not satisfied with what he has and came here to snatch my woman from me. How do you feel about this? Margot was worried that Fallen Bloom would protect Piercing Wind, so he just decided to drive a wedge between them. Fallen Bloom, would my man need to steal your woman? A single sentence kill. In Water's direction, Fallen Bloom, don't be a bully. Who's your man? Bro, Piercing Wind has never admitted being in any relationship with you, so stop showering your affection onto someone who's uninterested here. Hey! Through the gaming headphones, Adam cursed out loudly. In the next second, the screen displayed a line of words. System, player, Fallen Bloom, has started massacre mode on, in Water's direction, ... The entire world was dumbfounded once again. This storyline was a godlike escalation. Simply merciless. From a case of two men fighting for a woman, it had become two women fighting for a man, and there was none of Glory of Light's business here. His own woman who he had just wedded had run off to be jealous of another woman. As a faction leader, he had really been cheated on horribly here. Did the goddess in Water's direction actually like Piercing Wind too? This was not surprising to all the players. The game was, after all, where the strongest earned the highest honor, and which female player would not like Piercing Wind? Besides, if such a man had come to snatch you as a wife, that would cause one's heart to be restless. While the game was abuzz, Luna was fighting with Adam. Damn it, Adam, what are you doing? What must you cheat on me and not allow me to defend myself? Your stubborn head, can't you just tell them you're a man? That way, there wouldn't be any misunderstanding. How can I continue playing in this game if they knew I am a man? Well, you're a man, so you can't kill women. I am now a woman too. If you cause any more trouble for me, don't look for me if you need someone to battle with. She had finally stopped Adam, so Luna quickly sent out a message into the world. Piercing Wind, personal gratitude and grudges abound. Those on the sidelines, please don't intervene, or else, you will pay the price yourself. Up next, Piercing Wind unexpectedly challenged someone to a war. Piercing Wind, glory of light, come to the battlefield. I will take off my godly armor and let you make 3 moves. The loser has to delete their account. Instantly, the entire world was buzzing again. Immediately delete their account? That was such a huge stake. Just as everyone was going crazy on the forum, they were also excitedly anticipating Glory of Light's response. If Glory of Light still would not accept the challenge, he would lose all face and would not be considered a man. Margot, what to do now? To fight or not? That guy is even taking off his godly armor, how arrogant. Of course, we must get him. Margot, get him. What are you waiting for? Chapter 9:14. Margot looked unhappy as he gritted his teeth in frustration. His attack score was actually not that low. Earlier, he had only been massacred by Piercing Wind because he was completely caught off guard. Now, Piercing Wind had not only let him make 3 moves first, he had even offered to remove their godly armor, so there was no way he would lose again. Thus, Margot decisively picked up his sword and swung it at Piercing Wind. True to his word, Piercing Wind stood still and did not return the favor. 3 sword attacks later, Piercing Wind had only 10% of blood life left. You punk, you're arrogant indeed. Delete your account. Margot continued to slash. To Margot's surprise, in the next second, Piercing Wind had suddenly disappeared from where he was. At the same time, Margot's life had depleted by a quarter. Hey! Teleportation? Don't worry, Margot, continue. He's slowed down from your attack, so this move can only be done once. In fact, he's already removed his godly armor, so the harm he can inflict is halved. Quickly slash him to death. Just 1 slash is enough. Despite Piercing Wind having only that little life left, he continued to fly and use showy attack tricks that bedazzled everyone. At last, he almost killed the fully armored Glory of Light without much mercy. The world started buzzing at the same time on the forum again. The world, praise the master. The world, praise the master. The world, praise the master. The world, Piercing Wind, delete your account, or else I will kill you every time I see you. The world, master, what grudges are there between you two? The world, exactly. How has the Glory of Light faction leader offended you to the point that not only do you want to steal his wife, you even want to kill him to delete his account? Piercing Wind, I just don't like him. The world. In the internet cafe, Margot looked at Piercing Wind's message on the screen and kicked the chair behind him, toppling it over. Hey, Margot, where are you going? Not playing anymore? You've spent so much money on this account. Are you really going to delete it? Go away, don't disturb me. Don't look for me to play anymore. He had already been killed so horribly, robbed of his wife and even battled away his dignity. How would he have the face to play again? At the same time, Luna's phone rang. It was Tiffany. Luna stopped Adam, who was complaining profusely into her headphones about In Water's directions provocation, to accept the call. Hello, Tiffany. When he heard Luna's gentle voice, Adam instantly shut up on the other end and listened in. Hello, Luna, Margot has already logged off and gone home. That's good then, you should get home quickly too. Next time, don't come out alone so late at night, it's not safe. I know. But, what did you do? I think I heard Margot say earlier that he won't play games anymore, because he has been so addicted to it. I never expected that he would actually say something like this. Oh, it's nothing, I have an account in this game too. Coincidentally, I know your brother. I just used that account to chat privately with him, using my identity as a friend to advise him, telling him to study hard and not abandon his studies for these games. Maybe he understood better because I spoke to him as a player and a friend. Oh, is that so? Luna, thank you so much. Luna's microphone had not been switched off, so Adam was speechlessly listening to Luna's blatant lies. When Luna was done with the phone call, Adam immediately scoffed, which girl did you hook up with now? What do you mean by hook up? It's my new friend. Her brother plays games all day and wouldn't go home, so I'm just helping her out. She had caused such a ruckus, snatching wives and forcing someone to delete their account all to please a girl. Pity him, having to fight and be jealous of a stupid woman like in Water's direction. In the end, it was because she was helping another girl? Adam was speechless at the absurdity of it all. Chapter 9:15. Oh yeah, you started shooting today, how did it go? Adam casually asked. Luna pouted. It went quite well, I guess. There's a prick, but it's all settled. Prick, could it be Diego, that punk? You know him too? Luna was a little surprised. Fashion media keeps talking about trying to cultivate the next Adam or something. How could I not know? Adam sneered, then he asked, have you shot any scenes with him today? I did. How did it go? He did bad takes about 10 times, I think. Were you that kind and lenient on him? When Adam heard this, he was instantly dissatisfied as he wondered why had she tortured him so cruelly back then. That was only because he's such a weak actor. Plus, it wouldn't be fun to torture him, he's far from your standards. Luna replied. Adam choked. These words. Should he thank her for the compliment then? However, he does have pretty good potential. If you don't work harder, be careful, your junior might end up better than you. Luna said. Huh, that's groundless worries. He can try to be better. Adam said in the utmost arrogant tone. Luna laughed while she shook her head. However, even though Adam was brassy, he did have the qualities to behave so. That innate rampant ego of his was not easy to be copied by just anyone. If Diego only followed Adam's path and not unearth his own unique character, even if he became popular, he would only forever be but a faint shadow of Adam. Oh, what time will your shoot roughly be tomorrow? Adam asked. I don't have any shooting in the morning. I start in the afternoon. What do you have in mind? As your senior from the same company, of course, I'd want to visit the set of your new show to support you. Luna had no words to reply him with. He obviously had ulterior motives. The next morning, because Luna's shoot was in the afternoon, she dropped by the studio. If she had more time, she wanted to think of a way to meet the person in charge at SF. Before this, she failed to meet him after contacting him quite a few times, and when they had made an appointment, he had inconveniently gone out of the country for work. When she had finally waited for them to be back in the country, they were all sorts of busy again. Luna was ready to think of a way to find out what the other person's schedule was, then go and look for them. With the proposal she had prepared so long for, she had to, at least, let that person go through it once no matter what. When she rushed to the studio, Luna immediately called Freya over. Freya, have you found out about the thing I asked you to check from the day before? Yes, in the morning, Director Wong will be at the Western Suburbs golf course. Okay, got it. Luna turned on her laptop and adjusted the proposal again. Angelo frowned at this sight. He put the draft in his hand down and walked over. Boss, how about I go this time? Don't you have a shoot this afternoon? If you rush to the west now and rush back to the set, you'd be too tired. No worries, I already said you don't have to care about all of this. Just focus on your designs. Luna pat him on the shoulder, then prepared to leave. She picked up her bag and was about to walk out when a calm voice said from the cubicle beside her, it's just a waste of energy. The person who had spoken was Ashley. Freya was upset when she heard this. This was their effort of preserving the studio and they had not asked for any of her help, but she did not have to dampen their enthusiasm, did she? Chapter 9:16. Something shifted in Luna's eyes. She immediately put her bag down and pulled out a chair to sit opposite Ashley. Master, enlighten me with your advice. Ashley looked up and saw that Luna had propped down before her and she was instantly shaken by her curious eyes. In usual situations, such words in that kind of tone would offend most people. They would usually be unhappy, and possibly even start a fight. After all, The working relationship between them was weak with no foundation at all, and it was all too easy to incite conflict between them. Luna's attitude inevitably took her back by surprise. The truth was that ever since she had come over, she had been surprised many times. At first, when she had been sent here by Alice, she did indeed have the intention of wanting to finish her mission then leave. She did not want to have to do anything else unnecessary. There were too many celebrities like Luna who had started their own studio and created their own brand, but all of them were only fooling around with their work. All of them were empty, arrogant vessels, and she did not need to please such people. She thought that Luna would be the same as well, so she held the principle of, the less complications, the better, and to not aim for credits but rather for no mistakes. She did not even want to waste any excessive amount of energy at such a place. However, as time went on, this girl had surprised her tremendously. Despite the fact that she was not a professional in many aspects and that the business had even taken many turns, she continued to learn and was constantly improving. She had many of her own views while Angelo was practically treating this career like his life. Even Freya shared a very strong pride for the studio. In such an atmosphere, she had not noticed it herself, but she was already unknowingly changing the way she saw things. Earlier, although her brain had not computed information, her body would react on impulse, but now, she would process her thoughts before acting. Even though she was a little shocked, this was still within her expectations. At that moment, as she faced the girl's humble and eager gaze, Ashley finally said, "This is the commercial society. They care about the outside, not the internal. They prefer flashy things that are hollow on the inside. Business deals cannot be sealed with perseverance. Your actions only be seen as pestering to the outside." Luna quickly took out her notebook and her eyes shone. "Then, what should I do to arouse the interest of the SF person in charge, so that they would get our brand on retail?" Ashley watched Luna's demeanor, that of a young student, and cleared her throat. "It's currently impossible. That kind of company has strong and solid capability. They'll definitely not accept a brand of our ranks to put up on retail. Even if your proposal is perfect, you've chosen the wrong client. You're just attempting the impossible. We currently don't even have small clients, yet we want to expect instant success discussing retailing with top companies in the industry. This is unrealistic." Luna listened as she fell into contemplation. Ashley's words had accurately pinpointed their problem. Maybe because they had succeeded with Alice the last time, she had subconsciously set an overzealous goal for herself. After all, she had used some smarts with the Alice case. However, she could not rely on luck and opportunity every time. When she saw that Luna had understood, Ashley continued, "Based on our current situation with the studio, it's not suitable to find a huge corporation like SF for collaboration. Based on our position, the most suitable collaboration partners would be those socialites." Chapter 9:17. Now, the question is, how do we tap into the market of socialites? Freya asked. "Prepare 10 sets of clothes for me. I'll be in charge of sending them out," said Ashley. "What?" Freya's eyes instantly widened. Send them out?" "Yes. Our studio is for profit, not for charity. Wouldn't we get no returns at all from sending them out?" Freya looked shocked, her eyes filled with suspicion towards Ashley. She had thought that Ashley would have some good ideas. This was nonsense, was it not? An awkward moment of silence later, Luna looked at Angelo and asked, "How many sets of high-grade customized pieces do we have now?" "Exactly 10 pieces, but they were prepared to be released as a new product," Angelo answered. Luna immediately said, "Then, let's not release it first. Pass them to Director Ashley." Ashley nodded slightly, then she looked at Angelo. "I need the detailed information of the material and design concept of every set of apparel." As Ashley spoke to Angelo, Freya quickly pulled Luna aside and lowered her voice to say, "Luna, this is too risky. I've counted. The total of those clothes come up to a few $1 million, and we've used up all the best materials and quality. If we don't accept any payment and just give them away, all of the profit from this period would have to be used to cover, and that would most likely cause a fracture in the capital chain. If you use someone, don't suspect them." Luna squinted, then she said through gritted teeth, "Besides, one must pay the price to achieve one's goals. She had waited for so long for the day that Ashley would take the initiative in the studio work, so how could she let go of this great opportunity? Even if it failed, she would accept her chances. Besides, she did not think that she would fail. Ashley had mentioned that she would be in charge of giving them out, which meant that she would use her own connections for the studio. Her connections were Ashley's best weapon. When Freya saw Luna's determined attitude and confident outlook, she naturally stopped trying to advise her. Angelo was packing the required clothes with Freya when Luna suddenly flew over. "Oh, wait, hey, my babies. Let me bid them one last farewell." Freya was confused. She had been so blunt earlier that she almost thought that she did not care at all and that her heart did not ache even a little. When Ashley saw Luna's heartbroken expression, she smiled and at the same time, she felt moved. Luna was not at the wealthiest point in her life and these clothes were pretty much the entire studio's capital, yet she had chosen to trust her without second thoughts. After Luna was done bidding goodbye to the beautiful clothes, she suddenly thought of something again. Wait, Director Ashley, I have a good friend who is super pretty and super cute. Her identity would definitely fit our studio's positioning too. Could you give me a set to pass to her? Ashley nodded. Of course, you're the boss. I am indeed the boss, but you're the lighthouse. After Luna received her agreement, she happily picked out a lively, youthful outfit from the available sets. She thought to herself, this outfit would definitely look good on my Tiffany. In fact, it's so expensive, arg. I definitely cannot let all of it be taken advantage of by outsiders. Chapter 9:18. Quality goods needed no advertising. Instead of waiting, they had taken the initiative to find those who were suitable for them. With a combination of Spirit's talents, Alice's prestige, and the final touch in the form of Ashley's connections, the probability of winning this gamble was pretty positive. Luna patted Angelo on the shoulder. Angelo, your babies have been taken away. Does your heart ache? After all, these clothes had all been put together stitch by him and more than 10 professional craftsmen. She remembered that on one of the outfits, just sewing the metallic ornament had taken them 7 days. On the outside, Angelo did not look heavy-hearted. I trust you, boss. Besides, without her, they would not even have existed. She was the real owner of the outfits. With Ashley's help, Luna was much more relieved, so she rushed straight to the set after lunch. For ease of movement, she remained in a male disguise. The crew had just finished lunch too, so they were resting for a while. Even though it was only the second day, there was already a small clique formed. Diego, Caleb, and Aria were one close group on their own. Because Arthur was not a product of the Film Academy and was not signed to any company, he remained alone in a corner highlighting his more reclusive personality. Some of the smaller characters would walk up to him for small talk sometimes, but when they did not get a response, they stopped trying. Senior, you're here. Aria saw Luna from afar. She was in the middle of a conversation with Caleb, but she ditched him and flew over to her like a little bird. Hey, they had only not seen each other for one night, so what was up with the yearning? Wake up, Aria, that's a woman. However, Luna really did have a unique aura, especially from the way she treated the girls yesterday. It was very comfortable to be around her, making any girl feel oddly like they were being preciously treated. When she saw the panting little girl coming to greet her, Luna revealed a smile. Have you eaten? I've eaten. Director Jasper is so mean. The crew's takeaway is so good that I've eaten too much again. Aria covered her tummy and grumbled. Don't worry, you're not even fat. Really? It's okay even if you're a little fat, you'd look even cuter that way. No way. Aria covered her face shyly. She really wanted to marry Luna. Not too far away, Caleb was about to twist his mineral water bottle out of shape. Hey. What's so good about that guy? She's just a sweet talker. She just knows how to coax girls. What a hypocrite. At that moment, a random girl intervened to say, so what if she coaxes girls? Isn't coaxing girls one of the most basic skills a man ought to have? You're right, but something's not right. She's clearly a girl herself. Why would she fight for our rice bowls like that? The competition is already tight enough. Right, Diego? Caleb turned to look at Diego beside him. Diego did not say anything as he was focused on the script and did not hear what he said at all. Caleb was speechless. He pitied the guy. It looked like yesterday's torture was quite brutal. Diego was suddenly so serious, making him feel really pressured too. Apart from Diego, another person with unknown potential was the second male lead, Arthur. This guy had not said and they wondered how his acting skills were. Yesterday, Diego had been tortured brutally, so this punk would not have it easy today either, would he? Hey, what scene is Arthur shooting with Luna today? Caleb mumbled as he flipped the script. Got it. Scene 28, whoa. It's actually a kissing scene. Even though they do not actually kiss in the end, ha 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 Diego, someone's going to cover the bottom for you. The scene that Arthur is doing with Luna today is a kissing scene. How could he be able to kiss a man? Arthur is dead. Chapter 9:19. Even though Luna was a woman, when she wore a male outfit, everyone would overlook the feminine side of her. Thus, could Arthur act well with such the thought that Luna passed off so well as a man? Jasper was probably a little worried that Arthur would not express well later either, so he called him over to talk him through the scene. Sigh, the fact Luna was so good at this male disguise had actually become an issue too. Others had also heard that the next scene would be quite interesting, hence they instantly became excited and anticipated the shoot to begin. In fact, a few fujoshis were so excited that they were bouncing. On the other hand, Arya was flipping through her script and clearly sulking. Damn it, Arthur actually has a kissing scene with Senior today. Let go off Senior and allow me to do it. In the movie, apart from the female lead's best friend, Roma, who knew right from the start that the female lead was a woman, the first person to notice this was the second male lead character, Henry. Upon noticing this, he gradually felt an odd sentiment towards her. However, he knew that the female lead liked his good friend, Adrian, so Henry's personality in the script was a very conflicted person. There were a lot of gaze-intensive scenes and to perform them was probably even more difficult than the male lead scenes. The crew was preparing for the shoot when someone in the crowd suddenly shrieked, "Ah, ah, ah. Adam, Adam." Who? Adam? Where? Where? Over there. The person that the director's assistant just let in. Oh. It really is my Adam. My Adam is so handsome today. But why would Adam come today? Probably to visit the shoot. I heard that he has a close relationship with Luna bro. Nearby, she saw a group of girls surrounding him as he walked over. Luna was speechless. This dude had really come. Not only that, he had worn Neil Spring and Summer Series embedded satin aviation jacket with a pair of black trousers, paired with a CH gold chain and pink ring, and the obsidian stud earring shone dimly on his earlobe. The way he was dressed, he should get a red carpet rolled out for him. He was just visiting a shoot. Did he have to dress this flirtatiously? Because of Adam's arrival, the crew was abuzz for quite a while. Some had even asked for his signature and others for a picture. Jasper was quite generous. He gave the girls 10 minutes to chase after their favorite celebrity. Even though they had seen many celebrities while working in this industry, they still could not resist the temptation of charm, more so with someone of Adam's allure. "Arya, aren't you going over?" Luna noticed with surprise that even though the crew members and some actresses had ran over, Arya was not bothered. Arya looked over at Luna when she heard her and immediately expressed her loyalty. "Senior, I am your diehard fan. Even if that Adam were super handsome, I wouldn't look at him twice. Besides, he's not all that handsome, he's far from you." The moment Arya finished, a shadow stood over her. A man's loud and unhappy voice was heard just above her head. "Oh? Ah, Jiang, Senior Adam." Arya instantly took a few steps back. "Little girl, what did you just say?" Adam took off his sunglasses and asked, his eyes looking very much like electricity generators. Adam was really a natural star. His entire body was shining and his aura was highly invasive, such that no one could really ignore him. Arya was young after all, and Adam had suddenly come this close with his full charisma, making the little girl turn scarlet instantly. Chapter 9:20. On one hand, her rationale told her to restrain herself as a die-hard fan, but on the other hand, the temptation of beauty before her was too much. Oh! What to do, what to do? She could not betray Senior. I'm not as handsome as her. You sure? Adam's charming eyes twinkled as he continued to ask. I. The little girl felt troubled, feeling anxious and on the verge of tears. Behind her, Luna's mouth twitched. She walked up, hurled out a hand and took Arya into her embrace to pat her hair lightly, then put her behind for protection before giving Adam a mean stare. Can you be any more immature? Arya instantly felt as if the spring breeze had caressed her face as she hid behind Luna and felt giddy with happiness. Oh, she was being protected by the Senior. Adam scoffed, then sat right down, looking very challenged. Who told this girl to talk big and dare to look down upon his charm? This was a question of principles, one he could not stand. Luna naturally knew he had this bad habit, so she rolled her eyes and said, You already have so many fans, and you still want to fight with me over one. Aren't you shameless? Adam pouted. Even you can fight with male celebrities over female fans. What am I being shameless about? Luna sneered, you dare say that you've never taken male fans away from female celebrities? As everyone watched the two of them unwittingly start an argument as soon as they met, they became restless. Oh, one is arrogant and dominating, while another is lazy and unruly. The two of them are really such a feast for my eyes. They are practically befitting of each other. Sadly, why is the male lead in our movie not Adam? Exactly. When these two are together, it really feels like there's love in the air. It feels like a déjà vu of a perpetually angry Yuke and Abishi. In the corner, as he listened to the discussion around him, Diego's hands trembled as he held the script in his hand, his handsome face turning pale. Because he had always been cultivated as the second Adam, Diego had watched all the recordings, television shows, and movies featuring Adam many times, thinking that even if he could not keep up to 100% of the expectations, he could at least achieve 70 or 80%. To his unhappiness, now that he had seen him up close, he realized that his confidence was a joke. His entire heart immediately fell into an ice house. Beside him, Caleb too could not help but curse himself. Between Diego and Adam, the difference between these two were indeed vast. Luna naturally knew that Adam was bound by Diego's management company for marketing and that he had been unhappy for a long time. Now, he had finally appeared to reclaim his position. She stood up, patted him on the shoulder and said, I'm going to work now. You're almost done, aren't you? Don't affect our shoot. I know. What's your next scene? Is it with that punk? No, it's with the second male lead, a kissing scene. Earlier, Adam's line of sight had been focused on Diego. He had only just noticed who the second male lead was being played by. Not too far away in the middle of the set, Jasper was talking Luna through the scene. Apart from the two of them, there was a young man standing quietly there, blending into the background with his run-of-the-mill looks and charisma. Until Luna and Arthur had gone to change, Adam ran up to Jasper and asked, Old Jasper, are you blind? You chose someone like him to be the second male lead? Bugger off, you're the blind one, his acting is good. Jasper said airily.